Top of the morning, ladies. My name is Hans, and welcome to the custom card reviews. I am now getting back into the doing more custom cards things, just for a fun of it. And yes, the archetype that I'm gonna go over is a special archetype called Portal Swamp. So in this, it's based off of my new story that I'm gonna make, with the same name. So it's basically the main character is a girl. She falls into a weird liquid and substance that was purple, and she gains powers from it. So, yeah, her friend got turned into a Cyclops version. So, let's begin with this archetype. So, let's start with the Cyclops. So, the reason why they're like level 12 and a level 11 is because they are boss monsters of this archetype. So, if your opponent activates a card effect, you can reveal this card from your hand, special summon it to your field in attack mode. If you do, negate that card effect and shuffle it into the owner's deck. Basically. Once per turn during your main phase 1, you can shuffle one card from your graveyard, hand, or banner zone into the deck. This card gains that card's effects from the deck by this effect. Once per turn during your main phase, or during either player's turn or battle phase, this card loses 100 life points, or attack points / defense points. You take no damage from battles involving a Portal Swamp monsters from anywhere. If you do, skip your opponent's next 2 draw phases. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Look into your opponent's deck, then send 1 card from it to the banner zone. Until the end of the 3rd turn, you add it to your hand. So, this card is basically a setup card. Most of them have the effect of the like these 2 cards, this one and this one, have the same effect. So, yeah. But this one during the battle phase, who can basically takes no damage from monsters from its own archetype. So this is just a starters cards. There's only about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So yeah, and then this one, the reason why it has the effect is because in that story, her friends and protect them from any injuries. any injuries. So, yeah. Then, yeah, and its graveyard effect is basically it goes like reaches into your opponent's deck. That means like one of her limbs reaches in, grabs the card from the opponent's deck to be banished and then to be added to your hand. So yeah, and then this one, sorry, has the same effect, but now during either player's battle phase, this card loses 1,000 defense. Banish all cards from the field except Portal Swamp monsters or cards to the ban zone, and their effects are negated until this card leaves the field. If this card is in your graveyard or ban zone, you pay 100 life points. Special summon this card to your field in attack mode. If it does, skip your opponent's draw phase. So this one, when it is summoned, it's like coming out of the swamp, of that portal swamp. It's like how Rick and Morty's portal gun has that green goo one. Well, yeah. So then it loses like defense power is like, or defense is allows it to basically like grabs the opponent and all, or grabs the entire field because how upset she is and all that stuff. Yeah. It's scary. Then, yeah, so her actual, like, the graveyard effect summons her. So the portal has self-revival powers. So basically she can revive herself by basically making you pay life points. And this one basically so this one, yeah. So then this one, during either player's draw phase, either player must pay 1,000 life points to add a card from their deck or top of their either player's deck to be sent to the banish zone. If it does, skip the other player's battle phase for the player that used this or the effect. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck or into your opponent's deck. Both players add 2 cards. Yeah, so and then this one is a Power Swamp Snake Fusion spell card for the archetype. Compared to like fusion spell like or some other fusion spell cards, this card allows you to fusion summon one from its own archetype. How many cards? There's only 2 left. So this card earn like fusion summons by using the fusion materials from your deck, field, banish zone to the graveyard. Spell summon it to your field in attack mode. If this card, or it gains this effect for once per turn. This card attacks your opponent's life points directly, and attacks 3 times per battle. So, and if this card is in your graveyard or battle zone, you shuffle this card into the deck. Special summon 2 power swamp monsters or tokens to your field in attack mode. If you do, gain 1,000 life points. Yeah. So basically, you're not losing anything with this archetype. I know it's not like, I think it's super balanced between it's my opinion, but I don't know. I might ask the dual logs something on Twitter. So because I think this card might be broken because it uses its own, like, these two as its own, like, fusions card, because it's it's part of that story where her friend and her got punished, and then their vengeful spirits of their own bodies fused into the swamp, and they both they're both brains, because they are very smart, like super intelligent kind, compared to like the most dumb, or they are very smart. So, but I was gonna say snakes things. So they had a bunch of, like, 2 clones of them, to be doing their thing, like causing chaos before her, and the user gains life points. So then, now for their trap cards, is called Power Swamp Eyeballs of Truth. You could see it in their artworks of their eyes. Alright. This card can only be activated if your opponent declares the attack. You can pay 1,000 life points, negate that card or attack, and end their turn. Or end your opponent's turn. If you do, add 1 card from your opponent's deck. Or select 1 card from your opponent's deck to be added to your hand. And if this card is in your graveyard or banish zone, you can shuffle this card into the deck, draw 4 cards, turn from the top of your deck. You can only use this effect for once per turn. So this one would be like, if your opponent activates a card, or like declares attack, you activate that trap card. Then you attack, or then your opponent can't declare an attack. And they have to end their turn. It's like, how will I put this? You're basically losing a little bit of the liquid to the power swamp to gain in a whole bunch of like special advantage. And you can select it's like you select a pot of greed or like the weapon from their arsenal to be added to your hand. So basically, I have done this with another archetype that I had in my head, was called something. I don't remember, but let's move on. So the brain hang of the man and is a fusion monster, level 12. It takes 2 fusion monsters. The 2 of those. These 2. And I was gonna. And his level is. I know the max cap is 12. But this card, Aaron, if we didn't have a max cap on it, it would have been like 11 plus 12 equals 23 level monster. Yeah. And then must be fusion summoned by a fusion spell card. If this card is special summoned, you can shuffle all cards from your graveyard into the deck. Your opponent cannot activate any card effects or summons anything or can't declare any attacks until this card leaves the field. That's broken. Yeah. And then the once per turns during either player's battle phase, this card loses 1,000 defense or shuffle all cards from the field except power swamp cards to the owner's decks. If this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life points, it's like the Dark Scorpions effect, basically. Your opponent must send 5 cards or select 5 cards from their deck, hand or deck, to be sent or send the hat cards, it should have said cards, to the ban zone. If it does, skip your opponent's battle phase. If this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the extra deck instead of your graveyard. Special summon all the fusion monsters from anywhere to your field in attack mode, but their attacks are set to 5,000. Or no, 5 million points. So this card is basically the lock your opponent out of any plays. Like the first effect of when it's summoned, your opponent, it's basically like a lockdown effect. Basically your opponent can't activate any card effects. Your opponent can't declare an attack or summon any monsters. You're basically completely locked your opponent out of. That's why this card is a big boss monster for the archetype. Plus, as it loses the defensive power to shuffle all cards. Yeah. So if you had like a card like this one and this one on the field, and you use like the fusion spell to fuse both of them to create it, because that's what in the book thing that I'm gonna make is that both of them fuse their angry spirits and their brains together to create a most powerfulest. That's why it's so broken. Yeah, because and their effects are basically you can't activate any cards. You can't, or your opponent can't activate the cards or do anything. So then, plus this one, I forgot to mention that the this part, oh, this part right here, this card attacks your opponent's slide points directly and attacks 3 times. So you're basically hitting your opponent 3 times. That would be like sending like 5, 10, 15 cards to the graveyard per turn. If you do that 3 times, yeah, so like, and yeah, so then it's basically, if you do it like a couple more times, like attack 3 times more, that would be like instant win right there. It would be like on the TGS animes, like top 10 instant win cards or list. Because this one, if you had like a card that allows you to, or allows your opponent to like take no damage, and sorry, that's my dog's barking. So sorry about that. And yes, so that's why in this story, I'm going for a story and fashion instead of like true who like card effects. Because this one, these two, like if your opponent had Ash Blossom in their hand and you activate like card effect, like a big hand one, and your opponent activates like that Ash Blossom mint, you activate that card. Earn, shuffle it into the deck. So then, yeah, because its effects are negated. Or like something like Infinity. I forget the name of it. Infinity. And a T. Gate. Or Infinity Gate. Or something. Forget that trap card that has the Infinity. He permanently. That trap card. This card, if it gets activated, and you had like that spell card or the one of these two out, you're basically shuffling it to your opponent's deck, uh, and like basically, yeah. and your spell card will continue like activate thing. I'm just trying to use like those two, like Ash Blossom or the Infinite Permanently spell or trap card. This one, and yeah, so I'm gonna read this one. So during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, you can discard this card, negate that card effect, and add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from the deck to the graveyard. You can only use Ash Blossom once per turn. So this card, to be honest, I know that I don't have hate for it like most people do, but I personally need or Konami to make a card that could counteract this card, because there's like so many cards that got printed with almost the same effect. But that's why I created these two cards. Their effects can be like reveal this card, earn and special summon it, and negate that card effect from anywhere. So basically, if you're basically activated, shuffling the, like say, Ash Blossom into the deck, and yeah, it is powerful. Let me tell you. Between these two cards that I had to like think about, because all these cards that I made during one single day or 2 days, two. So like this one gains the effect from the spell card too. So it basically has a way longer effect. And then these two gives you more like protection against most spells, traps, and monster effects. Basically, the monster effects are more reliable in modern day compared to spell cards and trap cards. And if you're gonna write something that's gonna be rude in the comments about, oh, these spell cards help the monsters come out faster, like double summon or skill drain or something like that. Well, this card, if skill drain or something like skill drain comes out, or like tries to be activated, you have this card in the hand, or this one, you can basically bust them up, like shuffle it back into the deck. And to be honest, doesn't she look like the older version to Ash Blossom? Here. Here you go. Yeah. With the... Yeah, so don't ask me how I changed the card from fire to dark. Because I feel like it. And yeah, so it's scary. I mean, for most of these cards. Like, because each one represents how some of those, or how the two main characters of this story became what you see before you. Powers, or Portal's Swamp, Cyclops, used to be a girl, and yeah, a innocent girl. And you know who she was? It was that girl right there. So, yeah, and she looks just like that, or before, and yeah, and then her friend became this, or actually, it was her friend. This one, the girly girl, is actually Ash Blossom, the Ash Blossom, the one that I showed you earlier. Yeah, this is the adult version of Ash Blossom. If she fell into the puddle or the swamp area, it's a new area where it is a powerful, powerful. Yeah. So now let me demonstrate what I was talking about. So this archetype that this kid's in, is called Clash of the Battle. So this is called Soldier Kid. It once per turn during your main phase 1, you can shuffle this card into the deck. It's supposed to summon 2, and then yeah. So there's a spell card or a monster. Yeah, spell card is similar to Monster Reborn, but when you activate it and takes your opponent's monster away from their graveyard to be added to your field, it is now treated as the archetype's name. So I made a card symbolizes it. I don't remember what it was. It was Illusion, or Magician of Dark Illusions. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. So, yeah. And it gains the attack points. So this card, Hearn, it has a backstory where it's like the Ojama King and Queen tells the Ojama Knights to fight against the Harpy Ladies and try to win. But the outcome is at the standstill. So basically, yeah. So, yeah. So give me a moment. So I couldn't find it, but yeah. So the spell card allows you to basically choose its actual name in the Japanese thing that I call it, is that or actually in my head it was going to be called Joining the Army. Yeah. It was the same thing as the... Where is that card? I just had it a minute ago. It was where... This one. It's in the same archetype, but the only people able can use it. No? Because the spell card is too powerful for if it's just splashed with anything. But if you use it on like a card called the Ojamas, then the card would have the Ojama would had to go, or like Ojama yellow, Ojama green, black, or blue, or red, or pink, would had to be changed, or you couldn't even change the name. Would be called Clash of the Battle Ojama Yellow, or Ojama Black, Ojama Green, or Ojama Blue, Ojama Red, or Pink. Yeah. You would have had to make 6 cards. That's right. 1, yellow, green, black. That's 3, then plus the other 3. Yep. So you would have had to made custom made versions of them with like a little military outfits, and they wouldn't have the same defense points of 1,000. It would be, yeah, a retrain versions. So I took that spell card idea and I chose to add it to one of these cards effects. Right. I don't remember, but yeah, you select one card and add it to your hand. So if it was like Pot of Greed, and no, it wouldn't be like have a name change or any name added. It would be like you would have probably made a custom version for this archetype. So the Dual Logs probably has a opinion on. I might ask him during his live stream. So stay tuned for that. If his live stream is gonna be up, I don't know when, but I don't know who, because he and I could tell because of his tone of voice, he's a guy that uses girly pictures as his profile things to attract more guys into the end, or like something else. But I respect him as a person that's trying his best to make like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So now a sneak peek on what I'm gonna do tomorrow. The tomorrow sneak peeks is about to unravel. It is called, let me show you the name. It is called What If Deku Was Tokyo Ghoul. It's a anime series where the main character this guy, he becomes a white. He used to be has black hair, but then his hair turns white. Maybe he was getting old for it. And yeah, most of them have that like little whatever thing in the back of him. Yeah. But but Zuko has that same ability. But he was or not like cursed, but he was born with it. So it doesn't bother him that much. Where compared to others ones, because when he gets mad or like gets really upset, like when he focuses his mind on something, he can basically turn himself into a literal monster. The Nomu with yeah. So that will be tomorrow. I'm still figuring out how it will work, because I haven't really seen that anime yet, but I have seen Bleach, I have seen One Piece, I have seen the other anime, except for that one. So, I really don't know how to, figure out how all of these pieces work together. So, I'm going to create my own concept for it. So, stay tuned on that part. So, yeah. I might turn him into like a innocent little kid with wants just like how the canon version, but for the original, but for like in this would be like he gave up to be from being a hero to being in a normal school, huh? And yeah, basically all that stuff happened to him all at once. Trauma, because sometimes his brain plays tricks on him. So that's why it might be for tomorrow, all that stuff. Um, because his parents, I might turn his parents into like being kind to his sister, but to him, they would be abusing him through the entire franchise thing, or abandon him. I don't know yet. So wait till tomorrow. That would be like total trauma right there. So it would be a lot better than 40K universe stuff. Way more blood than just doing that stuff. So other than that, I hope that you like this archetype that, besides that, and like what if thing. I hope, I hope that you guys enjoy this what if, or this custom card review stream, and the you like the story of, or the backstory that I came up with for it, because in the lore of it is that there's the girl, her name was Fancy Nancy. Hey, her friend is Celia. I, I don't know how to say her name properly. And there's actually when I did the redrew the artwork thing, like her friends, like her friends is, or Cyclops' outfit thing, it turned from this into this. So, yeah. Yeah. And that's her entire suit. The one that you see before you, this part right here, that's actually her suit. So, yeah. So, because that was just weird. Suit that, it looks, I know that it looked like it went from this, or like yeah, so that's, this one used to be her, then she got transformed into this, because the one, it was the for small head thing to make it look like, yeah, because her entire outfit thing was kind of weird at first. So, yeah. And then yeah, it kind of looked like, because it's actually not, she's not doing anything inappropriate. It's just her arms and legs are literally inside of a portal. Like, here. Oh, crap. Sorry. Do you see the dark gray part? This one? These purple things around her, like, arms, like her, like, forearm, or no, I forgot the name of it, where the elbow meets the shoulder, that part was like, wasn't cut off. It was actually had a portal go through, and then ends up with the legs, arms and legs things. Yeah. Because it's a portal, so you could stick your arm through. Like, you ever had a arm go through the, like a portal, and it comes out through the other side? Yeah. Imagine being in there. Imagine being in. Hold on, let me show you. Me, like her legs, because she's actually coming out of the portal swamp. That's what the thing is called. So yeah, it's scary. I know that the stuff is quite scary for all of you, but believe me, the most of these, like there's some that have like what this guy goes through. It's a monkey that fell into the portal swamp. His arm's trying to grab something. Yeah. So, yeah. Poor little monkey. Yeah. So, if you guys want me to do another custom archetype, let me know, okay? So, yeah. Some of these guys, or like this one, is a combined of those two brain cells. Like everyone has they wanted to use their brains, so that's what happens. And it's two people's arms sticking out, and their brains of their heads came out of their bodies and fused together to create a bigger brain. But they fused into one body too. So, like, imagine having, that girl's body, honey, with her friend's body. Like, fuse them both together to create a, like, big body, big breast size, everything. And I said big body means like limbs are lot longer and bigger, and the head is like she has 3 eyes, like how the goddess with the third eye. And I said goddess means like this girl right here. Yeah. But on a whole nother level. Imagine her being like the size of a Empire State Building. That would be like, yeah. And her outfit couldn't even fit her body because how big she is. Okay? So, yeah. Plus, it's not reason why I said her, it's because I was going to call it it, but then I was like, don't be offensive. Two girls make, or fused into one girl, makes it one girl, not two guys make a girl, or no, two guys, or it's not one of the other YouTubers used like some weird analogy of two ladies make a guy, two guys make a lady, two negatives make a positive, two positives make a negative. It's mathematical, Mr. Top 10 list. So, yeah, that's me being sarcastic. So, if you guys want me to add any more of the cards that helps this archetype, let me know, because this card, or like this archetype is brand new. So, I want I want the guys' opinions on it. Like, do you want me to like add them in or have a splash into any deck? Eh? With the powers, like I can also add like what I just said, like Ojama yellow, green, or black, dark illusions, or any cards. Like I'm looking over here and I see a trap card called like Power Wall. Oh, oh, and I think I should add that card into this archetype. But it will be that monkey thing. Okay? Or add Cyber Dragon to it. Because there's a lot of Cyber Dragon support. And yeah, all that stuff. Plus, as you already won, because with this, attack 25, 50, Sunderheim, that would make you have, or make your opponent lose 15 cards per turn. So if your opponent had 30 cards per deck, you can fusion summon this card, and you can basically win the duel right then and there. You don't even have to attack. You just leave it on the field. Your opponent can't do anything to only submit the attacks. Okay? And yeah, by the fusion card, then your opponent loses like attack or loses life points. So peace out, y'all, and have a good night or day, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.